Just because you spend time alone does not mean you're dating yourself. Dating yourself requires commitment. I think like 8 months ago, I started to actually get into a relationship with myself. And that's when I really learned that I've been cheating on myself this whole time. I've been very unfaithful to myself. I've yelled at myself. I've shamed myself, constantly bickering with myself. And none of that really came to light until I finally said to myself that I'm going to shoot my shot with myself and actually date myself. Actively do things out of love for myself. Plan in advance for myself. Take care of myself. Say nice things to myself. Validate myself, especially when I feel bad. Pull myself out of situations that don't treat me right. And over time in that relationship, I realized that I'm low-key starting to fall in love with myself. Anyways, take a chance on yourself because you might just end up falling in love.
Honestly, y'all, the formula to stop being depressed and broke and bummy has been sitting in front of us this entire time. Being depressed, being broke, it's not cash money. You can't take over the 99s and the 2000s if you're feeling depressed. So I'm going to tell you this scientific study that has been sitting in front of us this whole time that tells us exactly how to stop being broke and stop being depressed. Some of y'all is waking up in the morning and you're just going. You're not hopping out the bed and you're definitely not turning your swag on. Some of y'all is hopping out the bed, but you're not turning your swag on, and I can tell. And that's the reason why you're feeling depressed. And it's definitely the reason why you're feeling, as a result, broke. You understand what I'm saying? Some of y'all is turning your swag on, but you didn't even hop out the bed yet. You're laying under the covers, laughing, scrolling on TikTok, giggling, raising up your girl, rubbing your feet together like a cockroach. You didn't even come out the bed yet. Yeah, maybe you feel like your swag is on, but did you hop out the bed? Now, the key connector, this is what bridges the gap. He hopped out the bed, he turned his swag on, and then he looked in the mirror and said, what's up? He was unable to look in the mirror and say, what's up, until he hopped out the bed and turned his swag on. One cannot happen without the other. Once that happened, what did young Soulja Boy, the philosopher, say? He was getting money. Like and follow for more hacks.
Your social anxiety will go away once you realize that everyone is pretending. You know when you're at a club and you're looking around and everyone looks so casual and natural, they're dancing, they're laughing, and you're just like kind of standing there awkwardly. And in your head, you're like analyzing every move. You're like, okay, that person's dancing that way. Like maybe if I try to dance like that, then people will like me. And then you just kind of stand there analyzing everybody throughout the night and you don't really talk to anyone or have any fun. What you're failing to realize is everybody that is there having fun, talking to people, they all went through a very similar process to what you're trying to go through. Like they learned their mannerisms, they learned how to dance, they learned what to say. They probably went through a really awkward phase when they were learning those things where they just kind of looked like an idiot. But they just repeated the same thing over and over until they kind of grew into it. And eventually they become like a charismatic, carefree looking person. But again, they were once where you are right now. So the anxiety will go away quickly once you just start getting more reps at trying to be carefree and casual. So you just have to start by making the decision like, okay, I'm just going to dance or I'm going to talk to people. I'm just going to do this, even if I look like an idiot. And you probably will look like an idiot a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because eventually you're going to keep doing that and forget that you ever looked like an idiot and it'll just be normal to you.
I'm going to go off on a tangent, but I really don't care. People act so confused when we say that having children is the most selfish thing that you could ever do in this life. Because anytime you have children, it is a selfish act. You are only thinking about yourself. Or most times you're not thinking at all. I want my kids to grow up in a 2-parent home. I want my kids to have all the nice things. You are craving something for somebody that's not even here because you really want it for yourself. A lot of people grow up in broken homes and it is what it is. Y'all are out here having kids to repair your inner child. And I don't think y'all even see that. You want this magical childhood for your children, but the reality is you really want it for you. You want them kids to have everything that you didn't have because why? You want to repair your fuck-ass childhood. And you are doing that by having kids. That is insane. Go to therapy. Then y'all get with people who would never make good parents, but you like them. The reality is y'all don't give a fuck about kids. Y'all really don't, because if you did, you would go out and adopt. But you're not going to do that because you want a child that's going to look like you. Again, very selfish, very vain. Y'all are literally birthing kids into a world that is on fire just so you can repair your fuck-ass childhood.
If you believe in God, then you need to be careful about the expectations that you place on your life. I'm going to explain why in this little visual. I got a chart. Just came out of nowhere on you, didn't I? All right, so when we have an expectation in life, let's just say we're trying to get from point A to point B. Hopefully that B, oh, it is backwards. Okay, anyways, when you're trying to get from point A to point B, this is your expectation, right? But when you have an expectation for your passions, there is a limitless amount of possibilities for your life that God can give you. But you won't be happy with any of these because you have an expectation of what you want to outcome, or of the outcome you want in your life. So when you place that expectation, you're like, I want to get from point A to point B. That's it. That's all. And you're telling God, this is what I want. But God says there's so many other things that I will give you. But if this is what you want, so be it. I personally don't like having expectations because when I'm operating out of love, out of the true passions of my heart, anything that comes from it is a blessing. Anything. But if you have an expectation, anything below your expectation will cause depression. I call this the valley of depression because anything that falls below your expectation is going to make you feel upset. It's not what you expected. But if it goes above your expectation, then it'll be above your expectation. It'll make you happy. But oftentimes, what happens is when you have an expectation, once you've met that expectation, you kind of give up. You're like, oh, okay, I got what I was expecting. Everything's all good. Some people don't stop. Some people get more blessings. But, you know, sometimes people fall off right after they get what they're expecting and they miss out on everything above it, which is also limitless because God is limitless and powerful. So what I like to do is put my expectations right here on this baseline at the floor. Right on that baseline. Because anything above that is a blessing. And it gives me the opportunity to enjoy all of the limitless blessings that God will provide. And this is biblically backed. Go look at the Lord's Prayer again. Jesus taught the disciples how to pray. He said, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Pause right there. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Not my will be done. Not my expectation will be done. Thy will be done. And if you're operating in your God-given purpose and your God-given talent, then God will bless you. It doesn't, necessarily say that he'll bless you abundantly off rip. He might bless you down here at the bottom because maybe there's some things that you got to learn. Maybe there's some skills that you got to perfect. So you're not going to get this abundant blessing up here just yet. You still got some things to work on. But after you get this blessing, you show some gratitude. You're thankful. You learn a little bit. You grow. You get something better. You learn a little bit. You grow. You get something better. You learn a little bit. You grow. You learn some more. The progress keeps going, but there was no expectation. So the blessings that come in, you're grateful for every single one of them instead of sitting there moping about something that was below your expectation. It opens up your happiness and it opens up your gratitude window because you're grateful for everything above nothing. Everything above nothing. So all I'm trying to say is set your expectations low and watch how everything exceeds your expectations. It'll open up your happiness, it'll open up your gratitude, and it'll open up your thankfulness to God because God blesses people in a multitude of different ways. You just got to be open and grateful for everything that he provides. And more will be added unto you because you're grateful for everything that you have. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. So until next time, guys, love you.